Chers amateurs, notre prochain invité est l'un des plus grands gardiens de but de l'histoire de la LNH. A true legend between the pipes. Non repêché, il s'est taillé une place parmi l'élite du hockey professionnel. He's a two-time Vezina Trophy winner, three-time William N. Jennings Trophy winner et récipiendaire du trophée Calder en 1991 à titre de recrue de l'année. Champion de la Coupe Stanley en 1999 avec les Stars de Dallas. Il est aussi champion NCAA, médaillé d'or olympique et membre du Temple de la renommée du hockey depuis 2011. Ses 484 victoires le placent au 5e rang de l'histoire de la LNH. Proof of an extraordinary career built on talent, focus and determination. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, accueillons, please welcome Eddie the Eagle, Ed Belfour! En entrevue maintenant avec Mikey Singer. À toi, Mikey. Take it away, Mikey.
All right, thank you, Eddie, for sitting down with me.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Okay, so have you ever been to one of these sport card shows before?
Never.
Never?
First time.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
No, I love them, for sure. They're awesome.
And, well, thanks again for coming in. And I can see there's a lot of fans waiting to meet you. And obviously, a long, storied career and a Hall of Fame NHLer. You've played with a lot of different teams. Who would be your favorite coach?
Pat Quinn.
It's a quick answer. And why?
I just loved him. He was just, a great mentor. He was a really good coach. He didn't play head games with us. He just did what he had to do, and he treated us like professionals, and he asked the same from us. And it was just a joy playing for him in Toronto.
Do you think that came from him actually playing in his younger days?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, he was just so experienced being a player all those years and then being a coach. I got him, as a very experienced coach, and he just knew how to handle the guys. He knew how to handle me as a goalie, and I sure appreciated that and looked up to him as like a big brother almost.
That's great. That's excellent to hear. And so you started your career in Manitoba, where you're from, with the Winkler. With the Winkler team out in Winkler, Manitoba.
Yeah, Winkler Flyers in the Manitoba Flyers. Junior Hockey League.
Yeah, where you played 4 years and then ended up going to North Dakota University, where you won the championship.
Yeah, University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux. Only about a couple hours from where I grew up in Canada, just across the border in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And I went there as a 21-year-old freshman. We went 40 wins, 8 losses, won the NCAA. Tony Herkus was a good teammate of mine who I ended up winning the Stanley Cup and the NCAA with. He was an integral part of the Dallas Stars when we won the Cup in '99. So we had a great team there. Gino Gasparini was our head coach. John Marks, assistant coach, was also a famous Blackhawk.
Yeah.
Dean Blaze and Kerry Eads. So we had a great coaching staff, great team.
You did, and you had a great career there. And then going into the NHL afterwards, obviously you went undrafted in '87, and then ended up signing with the Blackhawks. Was it because you loved Chicago? What made you decide to go with them?
Yeah, the Blackhawks were my favorite team since I was like 5 years old. And Bobby Hall was my favorite player, Stan Mikita and Tony Esposito, my heroes. And I was a free agent with the Sioux at that time. And we went 40 wins, 8 losses. I had about 6 teams that wanted to sign me. And it was a no-brainer for me. I wanted to be a Blackhawk. So that was a dream come true.
And it's funny because, again, it wasn't until when you were 26 years old that you got your chance to become a full-time starter with that team of your dreams.
Yeah.
And as you said, when you were in University of North Dakota, you were 21, so you were a little bit older than the upperclassmen. And so each time you sort of broke into the league a little later, but blossomed. Yeah. Obviously, that rookie year was one to remember.
Yeah, late bloomer. And, that kind of goes back to where I grew up in Carmen. I wasn't actually a goalie. I was a forward till I was 12 years old. And I was asked to be the goalie because the two goalies that played for my team, small town, they didn't want to play goal anymore. Coach came to me and said, Ed, we need a goalie. So that's how I became a goalie, was through, the coach asking, and my duty was to help the team win. So I did whatever I could. Became a goalie at 12, didn't make my high school hockey team, got cut. And, I was a good goalie. Wasn't a great goalie yet, but I got a chance to play in the playoffs. That year we were down in a series against one of our arch rivals, and got thrown into the series last minute. And I like those pressure situations. And, like I said, I was a late bloomer. We won the high school championship the next year. And then I got a chance to play with the Winkler Flyers as an 18-year-old. Played 3 years there, so that's why I ended up being a 21-year-old undrafted freshman with the Sioux. And, playing for the Blackhawks, I played 3 years in the minors. Rode the buses, and I look back at it. It was the best thing for my career, was to play those 3 years in the minors. Learn about myself, learn about the pro game, and that was, at the time, I didn't like it. I wanted to be in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I look back on it. It was really good for my career.
And again, it taught you how to be a professional before you were even in the league.
100%.
So that first year when you got the chance to become the full-time starter, obviously you basically won the Triple Crown, which is save percentage, goals against average, and I wrote my note here, save percentage, goals against average, and your wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, of which you set a record, and the next person who did it wasn't Carey Price until 15, 16.
Yeah. No, it was a dream come true, getting that opportunity. And I had Vladislav Tretiak as my goalie coach. So my first outing with him was here in Montreal. I used to have the goalie schools here in Montreal. And Jimmy Waite and I came in. Jimmy was the first-round draft pick that year. And so we came in together. We worked with Tretiak at the camps. And then we went to our training camp in the fall. I was ready. I was pumped. And had a great training camp. And Keenan was our coach then. He's the one who brought Tretiak into the equation. And I think I played 74 games that year, and just, the team played great. I was on fire, so we had a lot of success. It was fun.
Yeah, it was great. And it's funny. Keenan's a great segue, because your nickname, from what I can do in my research, I found out that he's the one who actually gave it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, back then, I didn't have a mask. I wore a helmet and a cage. And it wasn't until I had a good playoff, the year before, that I got a mask. I got, you had to earn the right to get a mask back then. And Greg Harrison asked me, he goes, "Hey, Ed, what do you want on the mask?" And I said, "Hey, I want a mean-looking bird." And he put 2 eagles on there, and it was amazing. And Keenan started calling me Eddie the Eagle, so it stuck.
It is, and your mask has a lot of meanings. I know you have obviously the eagles on either side, but you typically have on the back of it. I heard you love fast cars.
Yeah. I got into drag racing at 16 years old, and street racing and stuff like that. Always enjoyed that. And the car on the back of the mask is a 1940 Willys Coupe.
Yep.
I like the street rods and all that stuff. Ended up having my own shop in Saginaw, Michigan. And that's where I played my first 2 years in the minors. And I ended up loving the area, loving Michigan. They were into street rods and drag racing. So I'd go there in the summers and do all that stuff.
I was going to say, are you still street racing? But it sounds like yes you are.
Well, not as much as back then, but I still enjoy it.
That's great. And then 92, second year, you make it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Playing against one of the best dynasties that my generation has ever seen. What was that experience like?
Well, that was good and bad. So we won 11 straight games to go to the Stanley Cup Final. I still remember like it was yesterday. We beat Edmonton 4 straight, and we were in Edmonton. And Keenan came in the locker room afterwards. He goes, "Boys, we're going to Stanley Cup Finals. We're not playing for a week in Pittsburgh." And he knew that already, I guess. And schedule was all set, supposedly. So we go out, Keenan says, "Drinks are on me tonight." So we go out and have a great time that night. Party balls to the wall. And next day we get to the airport, and we come to find out, we had a great time last night. We're going to the Stanley Cup Finals, but we're playing on Monday in Pittsburgh. And we're still in Edmonton on Saturday. So we had to fly all day Saturday, hungover, and then get back to Chicago, and then practice Sunday, jump on a plane again to Pittsburgh and play Monday. And needless to say, we just weren't our best because we, just didn't have enough time to recoup. I remember we were up in that game with, I think, 7 minutes left. We were up 4-2.
Yeah.
Or 4-1, yeah. We ended up losing that game 8-7, if I remember right.
Yeah.
The wheels came off, and it just became a shootout. And we ended up losing that series 4 straight. Mario was amazing, and they had a great team. Scotty was coaching.
You had Stevens, Mario, Jagger, and speaking of which, you played against incredible talent.
Yeah.
Who was the worst or the guy you feared most coming down at you?
Well, it'd be Mario for sure. Like, he was just amazing. He had that long reach, and I remember during that series he banked one off my leg from behind the goal line there, and I was like, oh my God, he tried to do that. So yeah, Mario for sure.
That's awesome. And now, again, you had a great career with Chicago, leading. It's basically you, Esposito, on the charts of all the records.
Don't forget Glenn Hall.
I'm sorry, I did forget Glenn Hall in there.
I mean, he has a record. I don't know if anybody knows this, but he has a record that will never be beaten. He played over 500 games in a row in the NHL without a goalie mask.
That's crazy.
I mean, can you imagine that?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It takes a special person to be a goalie. It takes an extra special person to be a goalie without a mask.
Yeah. And then 500 games in a row. It's incredible.
So once you left Chicago, you obviously went on to a couple other teams. You had a brief time in San Jose.
3 months.
3 months. What was your experience there?
Not so good.
Not so good. But in terms of the hockey, obviously playing in Southern California.
Well, I went there. My back was bothering me, and I got injured. I think it was the second game I played there. I don't know who it was. Somebody fell on my leg, and I sprained my MCL. So then I was playing with a brace and a screwed up back. So I didn't play so well in San Jose. Didn't end up signing there.
Nope.
Became a free agent. And I signed with Dallas.
Which was a good move.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a really good move because year 2,
yeah,
you were back in that Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, we had Bob Gainey leading the charge, the general manager, famous, all the experiences he had in Montreal. He brought that to the equation. He brought a bunch of Montreal Canadians to the equation. I mean, you could see what Bob was doing. He was building a Stanley Cup champion team. I wanted to be part of that. I ended up going to Dallas for less money. Yep. And it was a great move. I still live in Dallas, love the area, great friends there, and we won the Stanley Cup, which was my dream.
That's amazing. And you had out of everyone on that team, who would you say is the most talented player?
We had so many.
I know.
I mean, look how many Hall of Famers are on that team.
That's why I brought it up.
It's a tough question, but obviously Brett Hall is an amazing player.
Yep.
Mike Modano, but I'd say the guy that I think just flew under the radar, that was so talented, so amazing, just controlled the play so well, was Zubov. Sergei Zubov was an amazing player, and he was like the quarterback on the team. He just controlled the play, and he's just so smooth, saw the ice so well, and he just knew how to play, pass, be in the right spot all the time. Amazing passer, obviously on the power play.
It's funny because I would not have guessed it would have been Zubov that you would have named there.
Yeah. Well, my defensive crew, right?
Exactly. Well, that's who you got to love up. Now, coming to Toronto after Dallas, was that a culture change for you?
Oh, obviously, I loved it. Media. Yeah. No, I mean, the hockey mecca, Montreal and Toronto. If you can play there, I mean, it's like everyone knows the game. Everyone loves the game. It's number one. That's what I want to be part of. So, getting the opportunity to play in Toronto was absolutely amazing. So much fun. Pat Quinn was amazing. We had a great team. We were close to moving on there. We just got injuries at the wrong time of the year. Matt's got hurt, playoffs, and we ran into Philly both years. And Hitchcock, my coach in Dallas, he was coaching Philly at that time, and he knew exactly what to do to get me off my game. I think he sent brochure out there almost every third shift to run
in front of you,
run me over.
Yeah.
So, it was a great time playing there. The media was very fair with me. I will tell you, the first month of playing there, though, I got booed every game.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't like me because, you know, the Blackhawk days.
Yeah, no, that's it.
And they would boo me and get on me, you know, and I'd let in a goal and they just, you know, boo me, throw stuff. And, you know, finally Ty Domi did an interview. He's like, hey, guys, fans, take it easy. Give him a break. Let him get settled. He's going to be awesome. And then we went on a tear after. I think my first game, you know, first league game, we got a shutout in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So from then it took off. It was awesome.
One last question. Well, I got the note that we're running over time. So one last question. You still live in Dallas. I saw you were the owner of a potential startup when the WHA was coming back. How did it feel to be part of an ownership group?
Well, that was actually interesting. Bobby Hall was there with me.
Yeah.
And I got invited to be part of that group and, you know, try and put together a team, you know, during the lockout and stuff. And it was, we had a draft. Mm-hmm. And I think our main guy was Corey Perry, if I remember right.
Wow.
I know. What a pick, right?
Yeah.
So, it was fun. Enjoyed the moments. It didn't last long, obviously. No. But doing it with Bobby Hall was, for me, that was just, you know, he was my hero. So being part of that equation with Bobby, I mean, so
That's
much
awesome.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good experience, right? Like it got you into something completely different.
Yeah.
And a good way to spend the lockout.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Now I'm going to bring you over your fans.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody there, be ready.
Thank you, fans, for all the great years. You know, without you guys, we would have nothing. So thank you.